ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महते वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेशरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं नन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। इति गीताध्यानं। We'll go into Bhagavad Gita. ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। So in the previous verses, we will quickly do a recap of the previous verses. Krishna says, at the time of Pralaya, okay, we will understand that Pralaya a little more carefully. At the time of Pralaya, those who have, okay, before the Pralaya, when the Sthula Sharira, gross body falls, it is called death. The Sukshma Karana Sharira, the subtle body, travels. Our BMS, body mind sense complex, is made up of a visible sthula portion, a visible tangible sthula portion, body, and there is a intangible invisible sukshma portion, subtle portion. Now when the sthula tangible portion falls, it is referred to as death. The invisible, intangible portion, Sukshma Sharira, travels to various lokas in search of an appropriate yoni. What is the yoni meant for? The yoni meant for the Sukshma Karana Sharira looks for an appropriate, tangible, Sthula Sharira to fulfill its agenda. The agenda are stored in what is called, there are three types of karma. There is a portion called Sanchita Karma. The incomplete agenda is stored in the Sanchita Karma, and appropriate to what this Sanchita Karma, stored karma, whatever body is appropriate for the fructification of the stored karma, that yoni, the sukshma karana sharira will take. Okay, so that's the yoni. This is called the yoni, BMS. It will take an appropriate body. Okay, and what will determine the body? What will determine the body is if the person is a sattva guna pradhana previous janmi, then the next janma yoni will be sattva guna pradhana yoni. Okay, it is like, see, some of us who work in government establishments or other places, we are transferred. When we go to the new town or when you relocate, what are the things you look for? What is a social circle? These days they say, what is the who is the service provider? Internet service provider. That's what you look for first. So whatever is top in the agenda, you will look for appropriately that who is the internet service provider, what transport facilities are available, what kind of social gathering is available, how far or how near are the relatives from here, how far is my bank, how far is the post office, is there a hospice nearby or a clinic nearby, is there a department store nearby, is there a fellow who can repair my shoes and small these things, plumber nearby? Don't you look for all these things? In the same way, there are some guys who look for places where they can drink and have fun. Some person want a skating rink. Another fellow says, I want a lawn tennis court. The third fellow wants to play pickleball and so many things. You look for appropriate. And some people say, sir, can we get your satsang online? He says it suit our time and things like that. So according to one's drive, if the drive is predominantly sattva guna, this person will get a sattva guna pradhana yoni, appropriate body. Okay. If it is a rajoguna dominated past janma, the next janma, the new yoni, will be appropriate to the rajoguna. A sportsman will get a physically body, good body. If he is a sportsman, a fellow who is a hardy mountain climber. So appropriate to your desires will be your new body. Can also be some variation. And tamasa guna pradhana previous birth will get a tamasa guna pradhana body in this birth. When we talk about tamasa guna body, it need not necessarily be a human body. It may end up even in animal yonis. A tamasa guna, I want to eat and sleep for hibernation 6 months. A polar bear you will become. Whatever rajoguna is left, you will go hunting for fish and other prey. 6 months you will sleep, hibernation. It is not stated. This is how you have to understand. So this is how it happens when the body falls. Now, according to the Vedic, the Shastras there and the calendar, this entire cosmic whole also has a lifetime. Just as we have a lifetime, the cosmic whole has a lifetime. Okay. This cosmic whole also has a visible physical form and an invisible, intangible, subtle form. By nature, the physical form has to disintegrate. Let's go to Panchikaranam. How did it start? There were Pancha Mahabhutas, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. These 5 pure form they were available. They mixed with each other in a certain proportion. Some proportion created the Sukshma Sharira, The gross proportion created the Sthula Sharira. By nature, Sthula Sharira has to fall apart. The gross one, which has come together, has to fall apart. The Sukshma, the subtle one, continues. Okay? Let's take one more example. You go to sleep. Okay? Does your BMS, what happens to your BMS? Flat, na? They say REM level sleep, REM level sleep, and this like that, and that's when you dream. In your dream, you would have lived 1.5 years, you would have been 1.5 seconds. Okay. And what do you see in your dreams? Sattva Guna Pradhana, it will be a mixture. Okay. It will be a mixture. Sattva Guna Pradhana will see Sattva Guna Pradhana dreams. Rajo Guna Pradhana will see Rajo Guna Pradhana dreams. Tamasa Guna Pradhana will see Tamo Guna dreams. You could also have a little mixture because we are a mixture. In our Sattva Guna, you could also see a Satama Guna. In your Rajo Guna, you will see a little Sattva Guna, you will see a little Tama. That mixture will always be there. So just as our dominant emotion seeks out outlet, what kind of songs do you like? Ask a lot of people. One fellow will say, I like all those peppy, noisy numbers. Another fellow says, I like lyrical numbers. Another fellow says, I don't like to go to Satsang. Why? Because I don't understand anything. Where do you like to go to? I like to go to a bhajan. I like to go on Tirtha Yatra. What do you like for food? I like this. What drink do you like? See, everybody, it's all driven by Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna mixture. This is in our day-to-day life. Now, let's say we talk about a pralaya. That means the cosmic whole also has a life term. A life term for the physical form, not for the subtle form. The physical has to disintegrate. And how is it said in that Vedic clock? It says first you have Divya Varsha. Divya Varsha is 360 human years is equal to 365. Yeah, 365 human years is equal to 1 Divya Varsha. Yeah, 365 is 1 year. So, like that, 360 years is 1 Varsha. That means our 365 years is 1 day. Divya day. That's why, many of our death rituals and things like that, post-death rituals, it comes every year. That is 1 day for them. So, daily food. Okay, so Divya Varsha. Then 12,000 Divya Varshas, 12,000 Divya Varshas make Kali Yuga. 24,000 Divya Varshas make Dwapara Yuga. 36,000 Divya Varshas make Treta Yuga. 48,000 Divya Varshas make Satya Yuga. Add them up, 48 plus 36 plus 24 plus 12 will come to 12,000 Divya Varsha. 12,000 Divya Varsha is called one Chatur Yuga. This Chatur Yuga repeats several times. At the end of Dwapara Yuga, there will be a Pralaya. At the end of Kali Yuga, there will be a Pralaya, in which everything will fold back. And when the new Yuga comes, it's like a daily sleep. It will fold back and it will re-manifest. So you have one Chatur Yuga. Like that, 71 Chaturvyugas happen. That 71 Chaturvyugas make one Manvantara. Okay. Then number of Manvantara, I think 12 or so Manvantaras make one Kalpa. One Kalpa is equal to Brahmaji's, Chaturmukha Brahmaji's 1 day. Daytime. One more kalpa is Brahmaji's night time. Like that, Brahmaji lives for 100 years. Okay? Just imagine it. It is the mind-boggling figure. But what we have to understand here is, at the end of every yuga, there is a pralaya. Pralaya means holding back. At the end of Chatur Yuga, there is a bigger pralaya. Bigger pralaya means it takes longer time to come back. At the end of a Manvantara, there is a pralaya. At the end of a Kalpa, it is called Mahapralaya. What happens during Mahapralaya? The invisible, intangible seed is retained in this. It is retained, okay, and all the gross physical form disintegrate. Only the seed is retained. So the hibiscus with its nice, what do you call it, no? The petals and that long out tongue, the physical form will disappear. But a hibiscus can always be reborn because the knowledge of hibiscus is retained. The same hibiscus, this body will not come again. Okay, so we have to understand. So pralaya means a lot of people think I will go to sleep and I will come back. This body once disintegrated means this body won't come back. So to that extent it is gone. But this thought process can come. The Sukshma Sharira can come in another costume. And we have in our own Shastras, there's a certain system. And there are also certain systems through which one can trace back each past janmas and things like that. There are systems, belief systems, and it works for people who believe. So when we talk about Laya at the time of Kalpa, the physical form, it will go away. But the content, the invisible, the content here, the invisible, intangible, sukshma portion will remain. The visible prakriti, drishya prapancha will disappear, adrishya prapancha will remain. And at the dawn of the new kalpa, from the adrishya prapancha will emerge. That's how we have to understand. So, at the end of each BMS we see, now we take it to the end of the kalpa. The sattva guna pradhana body will disintegrate. The sattva guna pradhana adrishya prapancha will be retained. And when it blossoms forth, it will find a way into a sattva guna pradhana drishya prapancha. That's how we have to read it. Okay. Rajoguna will find a rajoguna. Tamoguna will find a ramoguna. According to each person's composition, the physical body will be provided. It is not one size fits all. It's a bespoke technology. It is individually handmade for you. By whom? Your own karma. Bhagavan doesn't make. My karma makes it for me. This is what Krishna wants to say. He says, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. Urdhvam here, in terms for the jiva, one understanding is Urdhvam means you go to higher lokas. Urdhvam gachanti. Madhye tishtanti rajasa. So people with this kind of rajas kind of thing, they will be madhye, they will be in a transit lounge. Not allowed to go into the city. You can go within the transit lounge. Duty-free shops you can go enjoy. Like in Singapore airport. You're not allowed to go outside. Okay. Then tamasa. So tamasa, what happens to them? Jaganya, Gudavritti, Tatha adho gachanti. What happens to the tamasa fellow? The tamasa fellow will go to, a fellow enters a country without a visa, what will happen? They will detain him. He doesn't have money. They say nobody is willing to take him back. They will put him in prison then. No? Adho gachanti. They may even end up in other yonis. A person with a lot of eating drive, eat, 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 eat. I'm not saying it's Garuda Purana says he will end up as one of those maggots. That maggot survives only on eating. There is no other thing for the maggot. The maggot's body moves like this. Mouth. Eat, 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 eat till some other being eats it. It says in the Garuda Purana. Okay, excuse me. Big sneeze coming. Okay, not come. If it comes, excuse me. So, then like that, there's adventurous fellows, maybe born in, as what a fellow wants to go from this place to that place, jumping from this place to that place, activity oriented, will perhaps end up as a primate, jumping from branch to branch. Who knows? Okay, this is just so. It says, Urdhvam gachanti sattva, tatha madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganya. Bengali, they say, Jaganna, Jaganna, Jaganya Guna, the lowest Guna will go to Adho Gachanti, Adho Gati. That's why when there is a death or something, we say, may the person get Sat Gati, may they go into Sattva Guna Pradhana Loka. So, what could be Urjvam Gachanti? Maybe Indra Loka. What is Madhye Tishtati, Iha Loka, this Loka. So instead of working in India, you may end up working in the Middle East, or you may end up working in Ethiopia, Somalia. Okay, somebody asked me, like, if you give a free ticket, which country wouldn't you like to go? I said, I would like to go to Somalia, Ethiopia, or something like that. Maybe like that. And Adho Gacchati, imagine going into some yoni somewhere where they don't even understand Vedanta. Bhagavan ke naam pe, now there are so many beings roaming about, masquerading as human beings, no belief in Bhagavan. Not just no belief in Bhagavan, giving gali to Bhagavan. So all this could happen. Krishna says, this is what he says, up to verse number 18. Let's look at verse number 19 and 20. They are very crucial verses. After that, Arjun asks something. So we will study what Krishna says in 19 and 20 very carefully. Careful, okay? Careful doesn't mean it's tough. It only means you need a little more attention. If you have doubts, you can mail me, you can message me, you can send me. Somebody send me a mail this morning. I'll use this opportunity in the class to explain you, or I can even call you one-to-one and we can explain. It's very important to know things well. Know it well. Don't have any half knowledge, because half knowledge is dangerous. Anybody can shake you out of this knowledge. So let's know it well. Okay, now let's do verse number 19. नान्यं गुणेभ्य कर्तारं यदा दृष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति. Once more. नान्यं गुणेभ्य कर्तारं यदा दृष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति Madbhavam sodigacchati. Very beautiful words. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay. Guna. Guna means characters, features. As long as there is a body, as long as there is a body, as long as there is an object, the object will have guna. No escape. Okay. If it is a oh, thank God. Now, if it's a guna. It will have a guna. If it is an inanimate object, what guna can it have? How can inanimate object have guna? It has not 99.9999% tamo guna. I put this object, some object here, it will remain here. They say no, inertia, it will remain till some outer body makes it move. What is the tamo guna there? It will disintegrate. Now, when what is the rajo guna there? It will disintegrate at some point of time. It will slowly oxidize. Plastics take here, but they will still disintegrate at some point of time. Okay, so anything will have a guna. Living objects will have a more dominant guna which one can observe. Plants have tamoguna pradhana. They don't know about. Some are rajoguna pradhana. Thorns are there. Okay. Poison, toxic plants are there. Some give out fragrance, some give out foul smell. They have what is called again a mixture of, but more tamas, less rajas, least sattva. Some plants even have sattva guna higher. Dakshinamurti sits under what tree? He sits under a tree. There are the herbal fragrance and the vibes around the tree give you buddhi. So from plant you come to animals. Animals also have rajoguna, tamoguna, rajoguna, sattoguna, very less. Very less. Dolphins are supposed to have intelligence. They all have a little sattoguna, pradhana. It's not pradhana, but some sattoguna will be there. They use their buddhi. They have their buddhi. See, for instance, if you see in the jungle, there is a deer. Deer is a prey, and the predator is the carnivores. How do they protect themselves? Look at some pictures. There will be about 3-4 deers. Two will bend down and eat. Two will look up. Now, these two which is eating will go up. The other two will eat. So that means something working here which says look for danger. The little deer occasionally goes to some corner. The mother deer will say, it will make some sound. It will come back here. It will not scare the whole herd. But sometimes a male will make some noise and all of them will run. So there is an intelligence. There is a communication system. It is Sattva Guna. And in tall grasslands, tigers come from the grasslands. Have you seen the tiger's body? The camouflage is for the dark, to hide it from in the grass. It will come from the grass side and attack the deer. But from the grass, tall grass, and the deer is here, the deer is careful to see that it does not walk next to the grass. It will walk between a herd of wild beasts, buffaloes, and then it will go. Because when the tiger comes, the buffaloes will run first. Then it will immediately see the signal and run. There is a certain buddhi there. There is a tattva guna there. So even in animals, there are sattva guna. Humans, definitely there is sattva guna. How many people come for our Vedanta classes? Okay. Sattva guna pradhana will definitely come for Vedanta classes. Okay. Sattva guna pradhana. But sometimes, this time, you have other responsibilities. You have to attend to children. You have to attend to grandchildren. It is not that you don't have sattva guna. The sattva guna pradhana is expressed in the form of a thought. Your mind is in the satsang, but you go about doing your work with a great amount of sincerity. Hey, they need me. Sattva guna pradhana. Though attending to duties, it is still sattva guna pradhana. An elderly person used to attend to my class very regularly. She went away to the US and fine-tuned her time and used to attend. Then one day she called me and said, my only problem is when I am there, The grandchildren look forward to me making something for them and things like that. Those parents don't seem to have time. So when I am there, sir, I will do that duty. Fine, absolutely. The mind is on satsang, but it says that I am not, I would like to do something, play a role there. Satvaguna pradhana thinking. Rajoguna pradhana thinking, this evening there is a music show, so I will skip. This evening somebody is to come and see me at 5:30, so I will skip. Okay, it will happen. They will come to see you. Let me share with you. When I started these sessions, how much? 30 years ago. Often people used to come exactly between 5:30, 6:30, or at around 6 to come and see and talk. Slowly they realize that Mondays between 5:30, 7, this guy is not available. Nobody comes now. Nobody disturbs. They don't even ring the bell. So Sattva Guna Pradhana will give you a Sattva Guna Pradhana. So all the people who are taking interest in Vedanta are Sattva Guna Pradhana. That doesn't mean you have Rajoguna. Suppose I keep running the class from 5:30 to 10, then you will even lead to tamas. You will sleep in the class. So we have to understand that a as a Prakriti has three gunas, and whatever is in the Karanam will inhere in the Karyam. In a gold ornament, suppose they add in a gold, gold, they add a little copper for to make it jewelry worth gold, then the jewelry product that you get will have that copper there. That copper will inhere there. So whatever is in the Karanam will inhere in the Karyam. So Prakriti has three gunas. This body will have three gunas. Mind, three gunas. Emotion, three gunas. Intelligence, three gunas. Blood circulation, three gunas. Then you are accepted Rajoguna. Okay, you eat heavily, Tamoguna. Sleep. You read Vedanta, yeah, Sattva Guna. Everything has Sattva, Rajas, Tamas combination. It is a part of Prakriti. So what is Krishna trying to tell here? He says, who is the person, who is the being who knows this guna? I am Sattva Guna Pradhana. I am Rajo Guna Pradhana. I am Tamasa Guna, Tamo Guna Pradhana. Who says this? That's what he says. Okay. This knowing, see chapter 13, Kshetra, Kshetragya. Kshetra is the field, Kshetragya is the knower of the field. You know. So there is guna is known to you. So who are you? When the teacher asks you, who are you? What should be your answer? Don't say you. Say, Aham Brahmasmi. So in Srishti, there is a Chaitanya Swarupam, there is a Prakriti Swarupam. The Prakriti has guna, Chaitanya, knower of the guna, is free from guna. And what does Krishna say? One who understands this, that drishta, that visionary, anupashyati, who understands this well, what happens to him? He is free from guna. So my body mind sense complex is free from, is triguna trigunas rahita. What is my Chaitanyam? It is guna atita. Guna atita, beyond guna. This is how you have to understand. Beyond gunas means not somewhere in the sky. Even sky has three guna. Guna atita. When I look at myself as a jiva, I am guna sahita. When I look at myself As pure Atma, I am Gunatita. Okay? Anupashyati. This requires a little bit of subtle thinking. Anupashyati. Now, what happens to him? He becomes Madbhavam Adhigachati. He reaches me. He gets my bhava. He becomes like me. Krishna here is talking as consciousness. So once you are able to identify that the gunas are there in the body mind sense complex, I, the knower, am free from gunas. We will see what is the benefit of this. Okay, this is first understanding. Let's take it a step further. You are playing the role of, you are playing so many roles, is it not? Father, mother, spouse, brother, sister. So many roles you are playing. Bhakta, citizen, critic. So many roles you have. All these roles will have sattva, rajas, tama guna. All roles will have. There will be a sattva guna pradhana friend. There may be a sattva guna pradhana father. You could be a sattva guna pradhana parent. The rajoguna pradhana parent, when he becomes a grandparent, becomes a sattva guna pradhana grandparent. As a grandparent. The child is a child. It will be like this only. Why didn't it like you work when it was your own child? So these pradhana, all these things will change. Now, you as a knower of the parent, Rajoguna Pradhana parent who has now become the Sattva Guna Pradhana parent, which guna are you? You are neither Sattva nor Rajas nor Tamas. Understand this insightfully. So when you can objectify the guna, what can it do for you? You can bring about a transformation in the guna, in the role playing. You can bring about the transformation in your guna. That's why every year people take New Year resolution. On the 1st of January, take a resolution. What is the resolution? I don't intend to take a resolution. And take it on the 3rd of January, 4th January you buy, that planner, spending 499 rupees, right, for 5 days, then don't write anything at all. Is it? Okay. So when you can objectify your guna, what can you do about it? The role player can transform. That is point number 1. Point number 2, you can choose roles which were Sattva-guna, Rajoguna Pradhana, avoid roles which are Tamo-guna Pradhana. And what will happen? The quality of your life, the standard of living, is not we are talking about, the standard of life will undergo a marked change. There will be a transformation in the standard of life. Anupashyati, when you are able to discern, anupashya means discern. Pashya means see, anupashya, see, जरा बारीकी से, excellent word, बारीकी से देखो. You will look at fine print. When you are able to look at it with that fineness, when you are able to look at it with that intensity, anupashyati, your transformation takes place. That's very important. Achha? And you have to, what do you understand? Gunebhya param veti. You are not the guna. You are different from the guna. You don't have to become guna free. It is something you have to understand. When you know them, people say you can become free from. There is no question of becoming free from guna. You understand that as a role player, you are free from gunas. The role has gunas. You are playing the role of a rebel. That will be Rajoguna. After the drama is over, after you come down, people will say, "Sir, you played such a violent character. How soft you are, Agithin." And there used to be a cinema actor. Okay. He used to play characters, Tatrupa. He used to play that when he used to come to the hall, mothers used to say, "Don't know, go hear him. He's a bad person." But personally, he used to say he's such a harmless person that he at one point of time wondered, why did I play such severe roles? So, what happens when you play a role, when the role devolves on you, you understand the script of the role well. There is a Sattva Guna, there is a Rajoguna, there is a Tamo Guna. While playing the role, you can wean yourself away from Tamo Guna, go to Rajoguna, and gradually shift to Sattva Guna. This freedom you have, this freedom you can have only when you are free from these gunas. If you are not free from these gunas, nothing can be done. You are free from these gunas. So, karta, as a role player, as a jiva, as a BMS, you are in this role, in this guna. But as a knower, you have objectified the guna and you can take deliberate sankalpa to move from tamo guna to sattva guna to rajo guna to tamo to sattva guna. Tamo guna is to be avoided. We studied it. We studied and we're going to study again in chapter 18. We'll study. Tamo guna is to be avoided. What is to be avoided? Delusion, slothfulness, procrastination, envy, delusion, talking ill of scriptures, harsh criticism, cynicism, fatalism. These are to be deliberately avoided even as they rise, root out. Rajoguna, activity. You can be activity oriented. You have to be careful that all your activity are aligned to dharma. So, tamoguna, promote yourself to rajoguna. In rajoguna, align yourself to dharmic activity. Dharmic means aligned to dharma. Dharmic activity doesn't go giving blood donation and giving standing at street corner and giving charity. That's not. Your activities, including your pursuit of artha kama, is perfectly okay, aligned to dharma. Perfectly okay, aligned to dharma. Hey, you have to choose a profession. What will you choose? You can choose according to your sattva guna pradhana. But what will you teach? You say, I want to teach Sanskrit, I want to teach philosophy. But before you get into that, you must check your inclination, whether you have that inclination. And you have to check whether you have the ambition to know, make it big. You can't say, I'm here to serve the country and then look at something else. It's a nice song, huh? Kahin pe nigah hai, kahin pe nishana. Your aim is something else, you are looking at something else. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so you can, or you can do a profession. That is, sattva guna, you can decide that I will go after something which I am naturally inclined. I may be naturally inclined, but suppose you don't know what you are naturally inclined for, then what will you do? You listen to the society. There are so many people telling you, do this, do that, do that. So follow the herd. There is one more option. No, I want to do something where I can make a lot of money. Nothing wrong in that. It doesn't make you a bad person. Only do one sankalpa. I will like to make as much money as possible aligned to dharma. You are blessed. That is Rajoguna on a Sattva platform. I would like to make money any which way I like. Rajoguna on a Tamoguna platform. I don't want to make money, but one scam or something I should make a lot of money and then enjoy. Tamoguna pradhan. So it helps you understanding that you, the knower of the gunas, are free from gunas. Okay. will understand the role of the karta better. It will help you understand the roles better. The role, its script, and your duties better. And within that framework, you can say, I will not be tamoguna, I will be rajoguna on a sattva platform and evolve and grow into sattva guna. Tamoguna, avoid. Rajoguna on a sattva platform, move to sattva guna on a rajoguna platform. What happens? There is growth. The human being alone can initiate this growth. And when you grow to sattva guna pradhana, you will have values. What values? You will have value for Vedantic study. You will have a spirit of inquiry. Is this pursuit, artha kama, is what is important in life? Or is there something else that is important in life? Further question is, going to heaven important in life, or is there something more important than that? These questions can come. That's what Krishna is leading us to. Let's see the next one. Okay. So the previous one was Nanyam Gunebhya Kartaram Yada Drishtanu Gunebhyascha Param Veti Madbhavam. Understand, you as the knower are different from the gunas. You don't have to become free from gunas. Understand that you're already free from gunas. You don't have to become free from gunas. You are free from gunas already. Identify yourself as the role player. Identify the gunas of the roles and play roles appropriately within the role. You can always move from the lowest of guna to the highest of guna. And all your role playing, your actions can be towards a certain refinement in life. But refinement, dignity, elegance, they all sound ethics, values. Somebody gossips, you say, no, I don't like gossip. I don't like to talk behind somebody. Nothing else. Somebody said, this person is like that. It's their prarabdha. Let's not waste our time. Sometimes we are, these days with the coming of social media, we tend to become a little too harsh when it comes to it. But we know nobody is watching. We don't know what is the reaction on somebody. So there have been instances where it happens to everybody. There have been instances where some of my comments have been harsh. So one of our students pointed out, sir, when I read this, I was a little shocked. I said, what shocked you? I thought for a moment your account was hacked. I said, why? He said, it was very harsh. We have never heard you talk this harsh. So it was a reflection that willy-nilly you have gone into Rajoguna. And in Rajoguna, you have gone into bordering on the Tamoguna. So willy-nilly. So if you have this anupashyati, if you are able to carefully analyze, you don't have to do anything, mindfulness. If you are mindful, you will be able to weed out tamoguna from your life. That Arjuna will ask and then we will answer that. Okay, now let's see the next one. Acha. Gunanetanati Gunanetanatitya Vrindehi Deha Samudbhavan Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkhai Vimuktair Amritamashnute Etan Atitya Gunanetanatitya Atitya. So etan gunan atitya, cross over, atitya, beyond. Okay. Trin dehi samudbhavan. I, the Atma, am able to objectify the three gunas and also the three guna combination in my body, mind, sense complex. I am able to objectify. Deha samudbhavan. I am also able to see that out of these gunas only this body has come. Acha. Then what happens? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha. All this happens where? All this happens in the sorry. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha. Where this has happened? This happens in BMS. Are you BMS? You are Atma. So when you identify with the Atma, what happens to Janma, Mrityu, Dukkha? You are free. The role as Janma, Mrityu, Dukkha, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha, you play a character. You play a character in a movie in which you have to act as from 8 years to 90 years you have to act. You have to act. So 8 years you can't act now. These days the way I've known, they will make you put a half pant, a half tie, and say suck your thumb. That need not be. That's how the fellow is picturized. Now let's say you are in your 50s and you want to act as a 90. How will you do? So the makeup artist will say, he will say, sir, I will completely gel this hair. You will say, Naya, shave it off. Huh? You want to be Tatrupam, you want to look 90-year-old. You will say, put some extra lines here. Let me walk shakily. Now, why do you do all this? Somebody says you have to play the role of a person with Alzheimer's. What will you do? Let me go check how these Alzheimer's people are. And you will play exactly. Why do you play that role? Because you know you are not that. You are free from the problem of old age. You are free from the problem of death. You are free from dukkha. And who is this person? Sarva. Okay, dukkha. Vimuktaha. Amritam ashnute. Once you are able to discern the guna as belonging to the role and not to you, you are free from the gunas. When you are free from the gunas, what happens? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkham. From this you are free. All these problems belong to the role, not to the role player. You will gladly play the role if it is in the script. Happily play the role if it's in the script. So what does Krishna tell you? Understand gunas are the part of the system. Objectify, know, and mindfully live with the reality of these gunas. Make changes, intelligent changes where necessary. So Arjuna is asking that question. Next one, How do I know? How do I change? Okay. Kim achara? How should I conduct myself? Okay. What kind of actions I will do? Which is in the next verse. Arjun asks. The sign of a good student is he will ask questions. So next week we will answer these questions. Okay. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्रह्मणः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हो, स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय हो, स्वामी आत्मतृप्तानंद महाराज की जय, सब संतों की जय हो। Have a wonderful week. We will meet again Monday next.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you have
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah. If you have questions, you can mail me. My email is available. You can send me by WhatsApp and I'll cover it either in a following session or in a one-to-one. Because whenever we need something, mananam means reflect. And if you have something to ask, please ask. Om Namah Shivaya. May Ishvara be with you.
Thank you, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Baba.